Watch any major stadium pop tour today, and you are looking at a very specific kind of kinetic energy: a sharp spin, a sudden freeze, a silhouette commanding 50,000 screening fams. This line chart tracks the Michael Jackson estate's posthumous earnings. Starting in 2009, the data shows a sharp upward spike in revenue that has remained consistently high year after year, generating over $2 billion to date. Following his death, and the mounting weight of intense public scrutiny surrounding his personal life, the consensus was that his cultural footprint would naturally shrink as brands and airplay distanced themselves from the controversy. Instead of fading, the mechanics of his music and performance style expanded, becoming the foundational code for a new generation of hitmakers. This creates a strange duality in modern pop. The industry continues to build upon his performative architecture, while carefully compartmentalizing the heavy personal reality of the man who built it. To see how embedded this architecture is, you have to break it down into two parts. The first is rhythmic precision and stagecraft, the ability to turn a single physical gesture into a percussive instrument. When Bruno Mars performs, the stylistic winning edge is immediate. The fedora, the sharp stops on the horn hits, the kinetic sliding across the stage. He utilized those specific performative tools to build a career on modernizing them. The second part of the blueprint is sonic and thematic, a breathy, vulnerable vocal delivery paired with dark pop themes about fame and isolation. The Weeknd adopted these specific aesthetics to dominate global streaming. His vocal styling on hits like Blinding Lights relies on that same breathy anxiety, wrapping heavy themes in irresistible pop melodies. Both artists are applying a structural framework, a specific toolkit for dominating the charts that was perfected decades earlier. That combination of kinetic movement, vocal vulnerability, and dark rhythm operates as the required operating system for constructing a modern male pop superstar. Maintaining that operating system at the top of the cultural hierarchy requires a highly aggressive corporate machine, managed today by the posthumous estate. The origin of this financial empire begins at the podium for the This Is It tour. Following his death, the rehearsal footage was packaged into a documentary, marking the transition from living artist to a carefully managed corporate brand. This bar chart breaks down the estate's revenue streams. Physical merchandise is a minor slice. The overwhelming dominance comes from catalog licensing and publishing rights. Those recurring royalties generate annual numbers that exceed the yearly earnings of today's biggest living pop stars. Yet this financial success runs parallel to documented personal controversies. The intense public and legal scrutiny surrounding his life presents a heavy, complicated reality that exists right alongside the corporate brand. If those controversies had entirely derailed his catalog, the music industry would look different today. The fact that the catalog remains a multi-billion-dollar asset suggests the industry has actively insulated the music from the man to protect its most profitable blueprint. The estate's valuation proves a deliberate choice by the music business to sever the art from the artist to ensure the underlying architecture remains intact. We are left with two forces locked together: an undeniable musical foundation operating in constant tension with a flawed historical record. Look back at his peak performative era. That level of execution remains the gold standard against which modern pop ambition is still measured. To reach that specific level of global pop dominance today, artists are almost inevitably led back to the sonic and physical pathways Jackson cleared. Because pop music relies so heavily on those tools, modern culture remains in a state of permanent moral compromise, utilizing the influence of a man whose personal life remains deeply polarizing. Ultimately, his sonic innovations continue to outlast his personal controversies and consistently out-earn the artists who followed him. True cultural permanence creates a foundational architecture so undeniably vital that it permanently rewires the way the entire world sounds.